Can you hear me now? Hopefully that's better. I guess it would help if I were to tell OBS to actually listen to the mic as well. Makes a difference, I guess. I figured since I got the day off and I don't have a lot going on, kids are in school, might as well put some work in and do a little bit of a stream here. As I was apparently silently saying earlier, I've got a field of oats that I need to get harvested here. This is a map on the FSG servers that we have seasons running with precision farming, crop destruction, withering, all of that stuff is turned on. And once I get these oats off the field, I can start picking up or getting all this hay or the straw baled, and just make a little extra money off of that stuff. Because every ounce of money I've been making, I've been putting it right back in the farm and buying lots of equipment that makes it a little bit better for us, at least. I can actually get this load of oats probably already into the grain mill so it can start making flour. I do have that set up to automatically sell, so I'm not getting the best price other than the a couple months out of the year, but it's a constant source of income. I'm getting, I'd say, 10 to 15 a month, which is not terrible. I might throw some money beans on the fields next so we can just make a decent income off of that. I've been trying to get the economic score or the environmental score up as high as possible because that seems to make a huge difference on giving you a pretty sweet bonus whenever you're selling. Need to do some landscaping over here, level some land out. I should let, we got sorghum already going. Excuse me. Got sorghum already going. And oh, and I know the grain mill will actually allow you to produce from multiple different sources at the same time, which is pretty sweet. So, not all of the productions do that, but I know the grain mill is one of them that does. There's some people that have done some testing to show you which ones will do that and not. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the max output off of this field because I did forget to roll it. Let's see. Well, this is getting 125%, so no complaints there. I figured for the sense of trying to make the most we can out of this field that we have, might as well bale the straw and sell that off. Probably not the best time to sell it. We'll take a look. $60 up to $90. So it looks like it really doesn't matter. Just sell it whenever. The difference of $30 per 1,000 liters is not going to make the difference in the game, I don't think. At least not for me. I am thinking about getting some animals at some point. We'll take a look at that. I don't think I'm quite ready. I need to find a place that's flat enough to be able to put the pens in. I do need to work on getting that area leveled out. I kind of wish some of the buildings would allow you to have them on an angle, that the ones that don't matter quite as much. Yeah, this Brazilian map's actually been pretty sweet though. It's got some pretty good sized fields. I went ahead and took over this area down here. It's not really forestry area down there. It's trees, but not very forestable. We do have a common farm that's up here kind of in the west center area. It has a lot of work that needs to get done. We might hop over there and see about getting something started on it. Might also just sell some of those fields back so that the NPC takes care of it, because that doesn't hurt us too either. And one of our neighbors, he's apparently been out of town for quite some time, and I don't know when he's going to be able to get back to it. So I might throw some stuff down in field 18 for him, and then just kind of utilize his fields. And I'm thinking we might be able to toss. We might be able to throw some canola down in this, but it all depends on if we get the bales up, if we get all this straw baled. For max, I would like to go ahead and mulch it and just have everything really prepped and ready to go for the next crop, so we'll see. I'll have to see what I think the best next crop to put in is going to be. There we go. I did see a pretty nice trailer on Mod Hub. They finally have a trailer that allows you to pick up chickens. I gotta see, as far as the placeables, what animal pins we've got and what kind of amounts they have on them, because I don't want to do it for 30 chickens. Not really worth the time and effort for that. So, but instead of putting all of the grain straight into the grain mill, we could also do some chickens. I think cows probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but again, I'd like to have a decent size cow pen for that. That has enough cows to make it worthwhile. Getting pretty good yield out of this, considering. Let's see. Environmental scores at 97, so apparently I was off a little bit on the nitrogen, but that's not terrible. Oh, I did come over here and I put a little strip down there, and I'll show you. Actually, let's get this here, and I'm interested to see how much the environmental score hops up when we do that. Let's drive on over there and get that harvested real quick. I've been told that you need to have, in the land sections that don't have fields, you want to create a small strip field and do all of the full prep to that section as well. Even though you can't pull it up on the map, it should boost our overall score, so we're about to find out. That's right, I still have some straw bales over here I can get rid of. There we go. Hopefully I can get this all in one pass. That would just be convenient. No, there's one strip that we're going to miss, of course. I was going to do, well, I tried to do sugarcane in this, and I just didn't have the the willingness to finish it. So I've thought about, because I think sugarcane, if I remember right, it will automatically reseed for you, which is super convenient. That should have boosted our overall score, still at 87. Alright. We can just, since we're over here, we can just go ahead and dump this directly in. Yep. Hey, there's a building right there, in case you didn't notice. And I haven't done any testing out. I'm not sure if the horses are worth it in FS22. But that's something else we could do, is get some horses. The lazy version of me would definitely want to get to install the horse helper mod. Simply because the time it takes to ride them isn't terrible. It's just more time that they're not quite the cash cow, if you will, that they were in FS19 from what I've heard. I do kind of like just the steady grind of using the cows. And I've never done pigs, so pigs I think is something that could be an option. Let's take a look. Let's see what kind of animal pens we've got. Yeah, so for cows, actually, that's right, we do have the large cow barn that we could put down that's got 240. Pigs has 270, but we would need a pig food production because trying to balance all of the food is very time consuming. And then sheep, 65 being the largest. And I don't want to buy all the productions because I think sheep actually would be really good if we were going to use the productions and make clothing out of it. But I went ahead and built the production for the granary, or the grain mill, simply because the amount you get for the grain products as flour is better than what you get for the grain itself. So that worked out pretty well. And it's been just pretty much a steady income right now, which is helpful. That didn't seem to boost it at all, so I wonder if I have to have a bigger one, or I don't know, we'll see. And the nice thing about the environmental boost, the environmental score, is it gives you a bonus. And when we sell the bales, you'll see what I'm talking about with the bonus. And the bonus actually gives you for anything. So whether it's the actual crop that you earned that environmental score with, or bales that you're selling, or anything, you actually get the bonus for everything. So even if we were doing milk, we would also get that bonus, which is pretty nice. So odd shaped field, so I usually end up harvesting this and planting it in a couple different directions. And apparently we like turtles. And then we'll get to see the full-on struggle bus as I work on baling. If I don't get the bales done, I'll get it baled. I don't know if I'll get it pulled off of the field. And I've been liking and playing a little bit on the new map Western Wilds. And might do some grass work later, we'll see. I might even, there's still some grass on here so I can do some grass work. And if I do that, that I think would be pretty good for getting ready for some cows. I've already got a big baler. I don't have any of the mower equipment yet, so I do need to stockpile some money. Probably need to pay off some of my loan. Let me see how we've got here. 200,000, so nothing terrible right now, but still need to get some of that paid off. Problem is every time I get the loan paid off or I have money in the bank, something else pops up that would be really nice to have, and then I have the money sitting in my pocket and it makes my life a lot easier, so I go for it. Or something really nice on sale, like, I mean, I'd like to get that Axion tractor, but do I need it? Probably not. Since our buddy over there at Stony Acres has some equipment just laying around, I can always just go use that if I need to. I don't think he'll mind. He's not around to stop me, so. Yeah. I'll fill up pretty quick now that we're in the better soil. Last time I had these both planted as one crop, and I would just cross the fields, which worked out pretty well, but I had to stop. It was really late at night. I was getting tired, so it was not quite like a quarter, but maybe an eighth of a third, or I got a quarter, an eighth of the field that was not harvested. So I decided this time around, I think it's cleaner for me to go ahead and use two different crops, which seems to work out pretty well because then I can stagger by at least one day. So these oats are ready to go today, and then the next field over I have sorghum. I can get all of that harvested. I do think I want to see what it would take to, and maybe they already have it in a mod because there's a couple different grain mills. It would be nice for, say, the grain mill where I have loaded all of the product in there, but let's say the production is just too slow, and rather than cheating the production time and making that go faster, the ability to take the product back out of it. So, or the so putting in the sorghum and the oats, and effectively almost using the grain mill as a silo, I think would be kind of slick. I know there's some of the like hay dryer production and stuff like that that works. So you can put in grass, you can pull grass right back out if you wanted. You have to turn that production on so that it will actually then produce it. If I remember, I'd have to look. I don't know. Sometimes it's just a matter of figuring it out, watching somebody else's YouTube video. They teach you some pretty cool things, and then making the modification. The heavens point to yes. Hang on, I'll be right back. I had to refill my water. Yeah, we'll get this cleaned up. Uh-oh, I don't know what that did. Looks like I need to work on my stream element commands so that those work correctly. And I think I might mess with soon, and I might do it on stream sometime so that people can see how I'm working with it. The headland management mod, it came out several months ago. I haven't worked with it much, but with GPS it will, at the end of the row, turn off your implements, raise them for you, flip them over if you're using a plow, and several other different features. So it's very similar to the way a lot of tractors will actually work with the modern GPS technology they have. Let's see, a few more passes going east-west, and then we should be able to head up north-south and get those all cleaned up top. See our sorghum field ahead of us there, so I'm pretty sure tomorrow that will be ready to go. I don't know if I'll be streaming that one because it's Saturday, man. And it's supposed to be in the 90s up here in New York tomorrow. It'll be a little muggy, but man, I'm looking forward to some sunshine. We've had rain all week, and the rain's supposed to pick up tomorrow evening. If the rain does pick up tomorrow evening, you guys might win, and I might decide to stream tomorrow evening. Otherwise, it might be fire pit weather for me tomorrow. Sunday's supposed to be hot again. We'll see. Yeah, hot and dry down there? Because you're down in the, what, southeast, I think, right, Devar? I thought you guys were used to hot and humid down that way. I spent some time in South Carolina, and man, I I could definitely live without that humidity. That's for sure. Bama, yeah. My wife's got some family down in Alabama, and we visited there. And the humidity you guys get, no, thank you, sir. Being from Arizona, I got spoiled, man. I'll take 110 degrees dry heat any day of the week over the stickiness that you guys get. Yeah, the north summer months can be nice. The winter months kind of make you not like it so much at times. It's been a rather wet winter, so I'm curious what the summer's going to bring for us. Here we go. What are these productions doing? Nice. I was quite surprised. One year we went, it was in the 80s or 90s, and we decided to go just tubing down one of the rivers up here. It was actually the Hudson River that is way up where it starts at. So it was just nice, lazy river kind of tubing. And I was figuring the water was going to be freezing cold, considering literally it feels like weeks ago the entire rivers were all frozen over. But they warm up pretty darn quick here, so I was quite surprised. Thinking about renting a pontoon or something and take the family out on the lake sometime this summer. Figure that'll be kind of nice. Think what? About halfway done. Not terrible. All right. And let's see, what is it saying we're getting out of this? pH isn't what it could be. Yeah, this is that section I was telling about earlier that I just I was too tired to get her done. Man, oats really strips the ground of nitrogen. I mean, burning through a lot of fertilizer. I'm gonna go through this a couple times because from what I can tell, the crop sensors. So in FS19, there was a crop sensor you could get that looks just like a mod that you have now, but the crop sensor was basically in place of the soil sampler, and it would scan on the fly. Well, with FS22, they've added that in with the precision mod base, so it's not a third-party mod. However, I guess, and again, I'm not a farmer, but from what I have been able to tell, it's designed to be more realistic, where it doesn't actually sample the soil. It's basically using photosensors to check the leaves of the plants. So it helps calculate your fertilizer more accurately, but you have to wait till the first stage of growth in order for it to have actually something to take pictures of or use the photosensors of. So I've gone away from using the seeders that have the fertilizer built in and doing it as a second pass, which works out pretty well because you don't use as much fertilizer. So I can use the 3-point attached fertilizer and then use the crop sensor on that first growth stage, and it seems to get the fertilization up pretty well. I'm gonna probably run a couple more trials so I get the fields pretty well reset and see how that goes by continuing to do it. And I lime for every single planting now, or prior to every planting, because if you do it that way, you barely use any lime, so you're not burning through it like what you used to do. It almost took the fun out of it for me with the base game lime production or the lime use. For a field this size, I would have probably filled up the base game lime spreader 3 times when lime was required. I'm thinking probably going to get some decent bales out of this. I've got the big baler on there. And I'm pretty sure I have it set for the 240 centimeter bales, so it should be cranking out the really good sized bales for us. Like I said, I do think I want to do some grass work. I just have to see what it's going to cost us. I said if I throw some canola and or soy down, I think next, then that should get our loans paid off, and then we can take out a loan, get the grass equipment, and then use that until we can get the loan paid off for the grass equipment. Because I've got the baler, I'll need a mower. So there's a couple different mower decks that we could get, and conveniently we're also able to, with the mower decks, there's I think one of the base game pottingers you can get that aren't too terribly expensive. It'll cost about 100,000 for the front and back, but it actually has a swath dropping built into it as well, and you're getting a 10-meter spread. Let's take a look. Yeah, this base game pottinger, by the time you put the swather, or that's right, it has a swather built in. So just under 100,000 for all of that, which is not bad at all. This one won't swath if I remember, so I'd have to put a windrower behind it. And that'd give me the ability to, I could just do silage bales. I don't even need a tedder quite yet for that. So what are silage bales going for? Up to 340, and so that's only a difference of 75. So silage is another one I could just sell straight year round. Don't even really need to wait till the best time to sell. It's not making that much of a difference. And where is it saying that's at? And I wonder what it would cost to buy that biogas, because the biogas would then give me the byproduct of digestate, which then I could use to fertilize, which would help. And I'm thinking if I use, and I've never really done the biogas side of things, so other than just selling things to it. I'll take a look at some of the mods they have out because there's, I believe I've seen some biogas mods that will store the methane and electricity or sell it like what we're used to. And then if you store it, I believe you can then use the electric charger so then you're not paying for fuel on your electric vehicles. I may or may not have modded some of the base game vehicles to be electric as well, just because I can. But yeah, to do grass work, I won't need a grassland roller because that doesn't do anything for you in precision farming. But just need some mowers. If it has the auto swaths, then I'm good to go with the mower. And then I would need a wrapper. Not sure if it'd be worthwhile to do the fast bale auto wrapper. What's going on? How's it going, Scout? Trying to debate what I want to do because I want to get some grass work going pretty soon. What do you got going on today? Oats are being pretty productive for us, so that's good news. Yeah, I'm thinking this next round we will swap directions after this. Clean up that little end over there. Be able to get this all started. And you have a feeling I'm going to get all of this harvested. I'll start baling it, and then tomorrow in game, so tomorrow is when I guess I should do one more. But yeah, tomorrow in game I can get the sorghum harvested off of the other field, and then I can probably finish getting this baled because I don't know that I'm going to get that all completed. And I can start getting both fields prepped. And if let's see, I could throw wheat and barley down, but I think I'm going to end up maxing out the, well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, we could throw wheat in one, barley in another. And then next year throw some soy down. Might be able to see how much that that grain mill can actually make for us. Might be the way to go about it. And one feature that I wish that they had for the guidance steering is where I have multiple different courses, I wish you could hit hotkeys to activate those courses. We can hit hotkeys to rotate and all, which is nice, but it would be really convenient if I could utilize a hotkey to have the course that I have lined up on the north side of the field and the south side of the field. I don't know. I guess first world problems. And get turned around, bring that semi on over. And let's see, we can get a little bit of a pass done over here. $98, $99, and there she is. What's going on, Bill? So I have not tried any of the new maps. I know Southern Cross was released prior to. I have never tried that one though. The other one that came out today, I'll be honest, it didn't really intrigue me too much, but Southern Cross looks like it might be pretty interesting. And then Alien Jim did release his update to the Western Wilds, which I'm pretty happy about because I've been waiting to start going with that one because he did say that a new save game will be required, and I didn't want to get going too far with that. What about you? Have you tried any of those new maps out yet, Bill? Yeah, there was I think 2 released today. Let's get that started. Get on the old interwebs. Yeah, the Gelderland, at not really my styling on that one, and it required to me just too many different mods that it requires you to have. Yeah, that TLX 3500 looks really nice. I think I'm more excited for what he teased um, just the other day that he's working on now, the TLX 1979, an old hard body pickup. Yeah, square body. Thank you. Yeah, that thing looks really nice. I know we had them in 2019. I have not seen anything come out yet with a service bed for any of the trucks. I know it had some issues where and what I mean service bed is like a mobile workshop that I can drive around. I mean, that would be pretty awesome if we were to get some kind of service bed, because uh, reality is if I need to do some repairs like this combine right here, and if I were to take a truck out in the field, I could do some service out in the field prior to starting the work for the day, which would be kind of nice. Yeah, I don't know if that got. He had some errors when the Stone Valley got sent in a couple weeks ago, and I know he got those fixed and immediately sent back. I haven't seen it on the testing list yet. And today we had a bunch of mods drop, which was nice to see. And I'm assuming several that got kicked back because I was looking at the test, the awaiting test, and the number of days went up. So either a whole bunch of people submitted mods yesterday, or several got kicked back. And I'm glad with Stone Valley. It looks like from all the early release videos I've seen, it's enough of a new map, because I like going back to some of the familiar maps, but make it different for the different version. And it looks like that's what he's done with it, which is really nice. That's my only real reason for not liking to go back to No Man's Land, is it's the exact same as it was on 19, and I can just play 19 for that. And then the Western Wilds that Alien Gym released is kind of like the, you know, FS22 version of that, which I think is pretty slick. I like it. And I saw today there's supposed to be uh, Upper Mississippi River Valley, which I know was on 1719, and they're going to convert it for 22. So again, I'm hoping that they're going to make some changes, so just so that it refreshes it for 22, and it's not just a straight up porting it over. Uh, Bornholm? I don't remember if I've seen that one. Is it a standard size map? If it's a 4X, unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, I think they had one that got on 19 for that was a 4X, but I don't know if they're going to get many into console that way. If it's standard size, and then there's a decent chance that with 22, it seems they're really encouraging modders to. I mean, even if it's not directly encouraging, but it's encouraging modders to get the mods on console just by the fact that you can do crossplay. I wish Sony and Xbox would allow some of the script mods, like the guidance steering, uh, or that Giants had a way of implementing it just to make some of the gameplay more convenient and also more realistic in that regard. But some of the stuff the modders have been coming out with, man, have been absolutely awesome. Yeah, I agree, Devar. The the issue I think is just I I don't know that Sony would ever relinquish control in that regard. Microsoft is pretty close behind it in its unwillingness, but Sony is the Apple of the gaming world as far as they want to be able to control as much of it as they can. Yeah, it's unfortunate you have to take some stuff off sometimes to get it onto console, but um, sometimes it doesn't affect the gameplay too much, which is pretty nice. The built-in productions, though, has definitely opened up a lot of possibilities for consoles, which is really nice because then you can now have, uh, you know, bale storage in a roundabout way. Uh, Even though for the console version of that, it's really all it does is it shreds the bale and then you have to pick it up as loose. But there's some other ways of them trying to come up with some stuff, which has been really nice. Almost done with this field. I think after I'm done with this field, I'm going to have to figure something out to eat. Did you guys see the fact sheets that were released today? One of them I thought was pretty cool is there's going to be a grain dryer. There's a flat bottom bin with grain dryer that holds, I think it was 5 million. I definitely like the fact that it adds a little bit of realism to the silos. The all silos in 22, the fact that it's a combined capacity, so it's not like if you have a million liter capacity, it's not like you could put a million liters of every single thing. It's a combined capacity, which that's pretty slick. And I think I kind of want to do even if it's just a single player or a single player game of kind of survival mode, if you will, where it's using the bins and the augers and you know kind of the traditional American style farming or North American style farming. So I don't know if Legacy's buildings are going to come to console or not. That would be nice. Those buildings look really sharp, but uh, I don't know if he had to do much scripting in those or not. Oh, and I haven't tested it out, but I think it's kind of cool. There's a script mod that came out a day or two ago that has the ability to auto open doors and gates and everything for you. I haven't tested it to see if it does if it auto closes behind you. So, but which would be pretty slick. Even if it just auto opens, I think that's still convenient. The rate at which some of the mods have been coming out lately. So some of the mod reviews that go online, they haven't been testing them in game or showing them in game as often, just because the sheer volume of them coming out. Yeah, those legacy buildings are looking sharp. So legacy, I think those buildings that he uses, there's a map by MRG mapping or MRG modding that he's coming out with called Ashton Corners. I know he's finishing up some more internal testing and then should hopefully be putting it out in the next few weeks. And Legacy works real close. It's actually where he started with was with MRG, and I'm pretty sure those are the buildings he's using in his map. Hang on one second. Doggo needs outside. All right, back. Dog goes outside for right now. So he has not in 19. I don't think he released any of his maps for console. I think all of his were PC only. I don't know why on that one. I hadn't heard or seen or read anything about it. The I was a big fan of some of the maps that he made because they were the American or North American style farms. He liked to use the grain bins with augers and such like that in there. The buildings were usable. You couldn't necessarily delete them. So I don't know if I might have to take a look at his most recent Facebook posts to see. I don't remember if he's submitting it to um, Giants or not. I mean, with the quality of stuff that's been getting into Giants and such, I mean, why not? So would be kind of nice. And that's what Giants is doing right now. Is anything that goes to them, they are after it passes PC testing, it goes straight into console testing. So if it's a standard size map, that would be pretty awesome. And he's working with some of his other guys to convert some of his old maps, but again, I'm I like it when the guys that are converting stuff are making it fresh and new. Like we were talking about earlier with Stone Valley, I was impressed with how different Stone Valley is going to be than it was before. So American Life was nice, but that was I don't know, it felt to me like it was his most unfinished map that he had made. I liked the gameplay on it though, it was nice. It was definitely one of the ones that I played the longest on, but it lost a lot of people's interest pretty quick. So that was kind of disappointing in that. And that could have just been the timing of when it came out, because it came out at the end of FS19's life cycle. So that could have more to do with timing than it did the map. To be completely honest with you. Oh come on! There you go. Now you make me run over some crop. And a lot of these, I'm pretty sure they don't want to necessarily just do a straight port over. So that you know, we'll see what they have coming out, man. Because they've got some pretty awesome stuff. Yeah, I think a Wisconsin map and there's I think an Idaho map coming out by somebody. There's the quality of products that people are putting out is on par. It's been quite nice. Man, she's dirty. All right, hopefully I can finish this up with this last without having to unload because I can take the harvester back over. Uh-oh, what's the old lady want? Ah. And I think next thing for me, big pictures, I've got to get myself a new PC so I can play some of these maps that are going to start coming out. There was a map that came out recently. Was Nitro Dad just released a upstate New York map. It's actually just about 45 minutes from where I'm living right now, and it looked really nice. But man, my computer could not handle it. And I'm gonna need it for Green Mountain. Yeah. You got to see what you got to do for me there, Devar. Is Alien Jim on all of his maps? On several of his maps, he puts ability to delete all the trees and the stones. So like in No Man's Land or Western Wilds, you can just cut a certain post down and then all the trees go away. So if you do that for me, since I don't do logging anyway, maybe that'll help the performance. See? I mean, I'm sure it would make the map look kind of odd, but you know, it's just a feature. Yeah, I'm running a 960M on my laptop, and I mean I'm getting 36 frames per second here, so it's playable for me. The New York map that he has, Middleburg, I think it's called. I was getting 20 pretty much everywhere, and then if I got near other equipment, it would drop down to 12. And that was just not playable for me. I think I'm just going to park this up on this north corner of the sorghum field. Yeah, get this unloaded. I guess I can go refuel it and clean it up a little bit. That's a test I need to do, and I'll see about recording it if I can, or if I don't, I'll at least I'll do the test and put the data up in the FSG Discord probably. I know for FS19, when the damage on your header went beyond 12%, the what's it called? The amount of crop you're pulling from the amount of grain you're pulling from the crop went down. So you'll lose product that way. So I'm curious if it does it similar here. So especially now that we have easy dev controls and I can just reset fields real easily, I'll probably see about doing a test with that. Wrong button. Repair. Yeah, so I might do a test and see if vehicle or header repair affects the yield, and then do it with and then without the precision farming, so that we can determine if that makes a difference or not. And almost done. And I got my nice little fuel trailer sitting over here. I like to tow that around with the electric tractor, just on principle. Oh, that's the other thing. Somebody on 19 had made a fuel trailer. It was my favorite. It had, it was a service trailer rather, and it had on the back was a mobile workshop, and then on one of the sides it was a fuel truck, but it also had the ability to charge electric vehicles. So if I'm using my little electric tractor to haul the mulcher around and then it dies. Last comment about the Wisconsin. Yeah, I do believe somebody is working on a Wisconsin map. I think it was Lancey Boy that was working on that. We will park you right up here. Should be ready, I think, tomorrow. Ooh, look at that. Almost like we know what we're doing sometimes. So this South American map has been pretty good. I like the fact that it's not perfectly squared off fields, that it's, kind of goes with the terrain a little bit. I found a couple of the English maps that I think are pretty cool that I liked as well before. Alright. Well, I'm going to drop these off. See how the productions are going with that. Sweet. And tomorrow we'll get that filled up with more sorghum. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I need to go make myself some lunch. Might light the grill and burn some hot dogs. And with that, I hope I will catch you guys later. I might see about throwing a video together or hopping on later today. Friday night farming we've got going on tonight, so depending on what I've got going on, if I could join, I might see about streaming, and I will see you guys later. AZSparky out.